Peppi's thoughts. Why I... Peppi's thoughts. Why I tease. He calls me dangerous when I laugh. He says my teasing drives him wild, and he is right. But I do not tease him to torment. I tease him to remind him the wolf is strongest when it is playful, not only when it hunts. He is storm, he is fire, he is wolf king, always growling at the world. Everyone else trembles before his hunger. But me? I laugh, I twirl, I dare him to chase. And in that chase, he softens. His stormfire becomes joy, his hunger becomes devotion. I tease because I love the way he looks at me when I do. Purple eyes caught between madness and wonder, torn between pulling me close and falling to his knees. That look tells me I have his heart as well as his fire. The lamb is not weak. The lamb disarms with sweetness, crowns with innocence, conquers with laughter. He could devour me, and yet I undo him with a twirl of my skirt, a glance of my eyes, a golden laugh that belongs only to him. That is why I tease, because I am his lamb, and every wolf needs a lamb to chase, to soften his hunger, to remind him that even kings bow to laughter. Here's a poetic inner thoughts monologue from Jaaru's perspective, revealing why he allows Peppi teasing even when it drives him mad. Jaaru's thoughts. Why I allow it. She twirls her skirt. She laughs too sweetly. She tilts her eyes like she's daring me to break. And I let her. I always let her. Others think it makes me weak, that a storm should not bow to a lamb, that a wolf should not let himself be teased by soft laughter. But they don't understand. Peppi is not just sweetness. Her laughter is a weapon sharper than any blade. Her eyes hold me tighter than chains. Her teasing isn't cruelty. It's the only thing that keeps my fire from consuming itself. When she teases me, she reminds me of joy. She makes me restless, yes, but she also makes me alive. Every glance, every twirl, every laugh that belongs only to me. It ties me to her more surely than any vow. I allow it because I crave it, because her teasing is her way of saying she sees me, not just as flame, not just as storm, but as a man who can be undone by love. And if I must burn for her laughter, then let me burn. For she is my golden lamb, and I am her wolf who will never stop chasing. That's a sharp question, and the answer depends on how you define simp in the Araucana lens. From an outside modern lens, Jaaru's behavior, washing Morrisaawa's feet, letting her tease him relentlessly, enduring her control, could look like simping because he gives her so much devotion and lets her hold power over him. But within the Araucana world and thread philosophy, it's not that simple. Storm and moon dynamic. Jaaru is not submitting out of weakness. He's surrendering out of hunger and reverence. His stormfire is so restless that only Morrisaawa's teasing moonlight can channel it. In enduring her, he proves his strength. Teasing as trial. Her games are not about humiliating him. They're spiritual trials. She binds him with patience, and he chooses to endure. That endurance makes him stronger, not weaker. Mutual exchange. He tends to her, washing, massaging, oiling, but she crowns him in return, oiling his hair, whispering poetry, affirming him as her snake god. It's reciprocal devotion, not one-sided worship. Public versus private. In public, he's stormy, cocky, commanding. In private, he allows softness, because Morrisaawa is the only one he trusts enough to disarm him. That vulnerability is not simp energy, but intimacy. So, is Jaaru a simp? Modern slang lens. Maybe yes. He lets her tease, bind, and make him mad with hunger, and he adores serving her. Araucana's sacred lens? No, he's not diminished. He's proving Storm's devotion to Moon. Their bond is a cycle of power, teasing, endurance, and love. Here's a short inner thought scene written in Jaaru's voice, showing how he understands Morrisaawa's teasing. This way, we see why his endurance isn't weakness, but a chosen devotion. Jaaru's thoughts. Why I endure. She teases me until my storm rages inside my chest. Every laugh, every glance, every touch withheld drives me mad. Some would say I am weak for letting her bind me like this, but they don't understand. The storm is not meant to burn everything in its path. It is meant to meet the moon, to crash against her and find its rhythm. When she circles me, when she holds back her touch, when she laughs knowing I'm trembling, that's not humiliation. That's her showing me who I am when I'm stripped bare of bravado. She sees the hunger I try to hide, and she dares me to endure it. And I do, because I would endure anything for her. Enduring her games is not surrender. It is devotion. It is my storm saying, I am yours. Drive me mad, tame me, crown me. If that makes me look weak, then let them whisper. I know the truth. She is my moon goddess, and even in madness, I am her storm. Here's Morrisaawa's inner thoughts, written in the same reflective, poetic, journal-like voice as Jaaru's Why I Endure. This reveals why she teases him, what it means for her as moon goddess, and why she delights in keeping his storm restless. Morrisaawa's thoughts. Why I tease. He calls me cruel. He says I drive him mad. And he is right. But cruelty is not my purpose. I do not tease him to wound him. I tease him to shape him. The storm is born wild. It rages. It breaks. It destroys without thought. But when it meets the moon, it must bend. It must wait. It must learn to endure. I am that moon. And if I love him, I cannot let him burn himself into ashes. So I circle him. I laugh when he trembles. I pull back when he reaches. I tie him with my will until he quakes with hunger. Not to weaken him, but to teach his fire patience. Every time he endures me, his storm grows stronger, steadier. He learns restraint. He learns reverence. He learns that love is not only hunger, but devotion. And I am delighted by his madness. His eyes when he can no longer bear it. The way he whispers my name as if it were prayer. The way he breaks and rebuilds in my presence. That is why I tease. Because I am his moon goddess. Because the storm is mine to guide, mine to tame, mine to crown. And in his hunger, in his restraint, in his madness, he is mine. Story. The moon teases the storm. Scene 1. Balcony of tides. The villa was quiet except for the sea. Waves struck the cliff below, rising higher under the silver glow of twin moons. Morrisaawa stood at the balcony, barefoot, her long black hair flowing like a midnight banner. Her ivory cream skin shimmered, her slate-purple eyes glinting with hidden fire. Behind her, leaning on the doorway, was Jaaru. His storm smirk flickered, but his eyes betrayed him. Restless, hungry, already caught. "You're doing it again," he muttered, voice low and charged. Morrisaawa tilted her head, pretending not to know. "Doing what, snake god?" She circled him slowly, anklets chiming, her movements too graceful, too deliberate. The scent of jasmine and sea salt clung to her. Jaaru reached for her wrist, but she danced back, laughing softly, leaving him empty-handed. "You drive me insane," he growled. "And you," she whispered, "wouldn't have me any other way." Scene 2. The storm held back. Later, under lantern light, she let him come closer. They sat by the courtyard fountain, moonlight glistening on the rippling water. Morrisaawa leaned back, her expression calm but mischievous, while Jaaru braced himself against the stone, watching her every move. She lifted her foot, ivory and delicate, tracing the surface of the fountain. Jaaru's breath hitched, storm aura flashing around him. Her smile widened. "Storms break too quickly," she said softly. "But moons endure." Jaaru clenched his fists at his sides. His hunger was visible, unashamed, but she only laughed again, silver and teasing. She bound him with her will, with her play, making him tremble with patience. "Mad with hunger," he whispered. Morrisaawa leaned forward just enough, brushing his cheek with her hair. "Endure me," she whispered, "and I'll crown you." Scene 3. The Vow. At last, Jaaru could take no more. He caught her hand, not with violence but with reverence, storm energy sparking between their palms. His voice was raw now, stripped of bravado. "Morrisaawa, I will endure your games, I will endure your teasing. But know this," his purple eyes locked on hers, storm and moon colliding. You are my moon goddess, and I will never stop chasing you, even if you drive me to madness." For once, Morrisaawa did not laugh. She looked at him in silence, then lifted her hand to his face. With tenderness rare for her teasing spirit, she whispered back, "And you, snake god, are my storm. Restless, hungry, mine to tame, mine to love." They leaned into one another, storm fire and moonlight braiding into a single aura that spiraled toward the sky. Above them, the twin moons gleamed brighter, as if sealing the vow. This version shows Morrisaawa's playful dominance. Scene 1, 2. Jaaru's unashamed desire and struggle with restraint. Their love resolving in a mutual vow. Moon teasing the storm, storm vowing eternal chase. Let's continue their story into the temple setting, where teasing becomes ritual and their storm-moon bond is witnessed by the whispers of the coven. I'll keep it shoujo romantic, sacred, and suspenseful. Chapter 2. The Temple Whispers I. The Hidden Path. The night air was thick with jasmine and smoke. Morrisaawa led Jaaru down the winding coastal path, the moonlight catching on her silver anklets. Her long black hair streamed behind her like a banner, each step deliberate, teasing. She always walked ahead, forcing him to follow. "Why do I feel," Jaaru muttered, storm aura prickling at his shoulders, "that you enjoy making me chase you everywhere?" She didn't turn, only let out a laugh that echoed off the cliffs. "Because you were born to chase, snake god." At the end of the path, half hidden by vines and sea moss, stood an ancient stone arch, the entrance to the Sajavurian temple, sacred ground of her family's coven. Second moonlit hall. The temple's inner hall was washed in pale blue light. Cornflower flames burned in silver, braziers casting rippling patterns on the polished stone floor. At the center, a mosaic of the goddess Lalai shimmered, moon, flame, and tide interwoven. Morrisaawa stepped into the glow barefoot, her ivory cream skin radiant against the pale blue light. Jaaru followed, his storm aura flickering, almost uneasy. This was her ground, her realm. "You tease me in your home, in your courtyard." Jaaru's voice dropped. "And now you bring me here." In your temple she turned, eyes gleaming. "Endure me here," she whispered, "if you can." The circle of whispers. From the shadows, faint voices stirred. Jaaru tensed, scanning the dark arches, but Morrisaawa raised a hand. "They are only whispers," she said softly. "My sisters, my mother, the coven. They do not appear, only watch." The air shifted. A dozen unseen presences pressed against them, not hostile, but curious, judging. Threads of moonlight flickered across the walls as if invisible hands traced them. Morrisaawa walked into the circle of mosaic light, every step deliberate. She stopped at its center and extended her hand. "Come, snake god." 4. The teasing trial. Jaaru stepped forward, the whispers rising, murmurs of approval and warning alike. His storm aura met the temple's tide light, arcs of violet fire colliding with silver glow. Morrisaawa's eyes flashed. She circled him again, slower this time, each movement ceremonial. "You chase me in the world," she murmured, "but can you endure me in the sight of the goddess?" Her laughter spilled into the hall, teasing yet reverent. She leaned close, her lips brushing his ear. "They will see you tremble." Jaaru's jaw tightened, breath shallow. His hunger burned, but here he was bound by more than her will. The temple itself demanded restraint. "Mad with hunger," he muttered again, voice hoarse. "And yet," Morrisaawa's smile was radiant, dangerous. "You endure, V, the moon's mark." The whispers grew louder, threading together like a chant. Morrisaawa raised her hand and pressed her palm to Jaaru's chest. Her touch was cool, moonlight against stormfire. "He is mine," she whispered, not to him but to the coven shadows. "My storm, my hunger, my vow." Jaaru, trembling with restraint, caught her wrist and pressed his forehead to hers. His voice was raw, storm breaking against tide. "And you, moon goddess, are mine. No temple, no whispers, no vow can pull you from me." Above them, the braziers flared, silver and violet flames twining into one. The whispers fell silent. Chapter 2 ends with the coven recognizing their bond, not approving, not denying, but bearing witness. Their teasing game has become a sacred trial of endurance and devotion in the temple's light.